Hey there everybody, it's Kelly with kellyscards.ca and welcome to this very first card in my Everyday Card Kit 8. So before we get into making the card, I just want to say if you have some inks, either black or pink, you can also ink up the edges on all of the cardstock, which will help just pretty it up. I'm not going to do that in my demo today, but that is an option for you to do. You can use something like picked raspberry on all your edges. We will be doing just the image in this video, but you can do this to all the pieces and do either a pink or even a black would look kind of nice and striking on some of the pieces. For this card I've picked today, we're going to do a kind of vintagey, kind of shabby chic Paris type card. There's lots of layers on this card, and to get started we are going to start taking this away and we're going to start building upon this piece here. So you're going to find this kind of velvety pink piece. I really like the softness on this. And I'm just going to use a little bit of my tape runner here and just run it along here. And I'm going to put this kind of near the bottom, and I'm going to use my grid to help line things up so that I get this nice and straight. And then I'll just put that on with my finger. I'm going to be using this as a base. I really want to make sure this one is straight so that my next pieces are going to be nice and straight. And this piece is going to go on here like this. And we'll just do the same thing here. We will attach this with some adhesive. And I really like this paper with the writing, the black and white. I think it really goes with this theme fairly well. And then we've also got this ribbon. And you can basically put the ribbon wherever you want. We'll start building up the card and seeing where we think it would be best. I think it's nice there coming out the middle. And before I attach this, I'm just going to make sure there's no edges sticking out off of that pink piece, which there's a little piece right there. And that side is good. So now I'm going to bring this back in. And again, we're going to put this down in the middle. I'm going to bring a piece of Scotch tape in now just to adhere this one piece. I like to use the tape so that we don't have to worry about the fraying, and also it adheres it very strongly to the card. So again, we're going to make sure this lines up nice. And I'll use my grid for that. And again, I'm going to just Scotch tape over that, and now that won't go anywhere. And I like how that's starting to look. So now that we have this all done, we can adhere this whole piece to our card base. And I'm just going to use something a little bit stronger. I'm going to use my 1/8 of an inch score tape here. And I'm going to get right over that ribbon there, nice and strong. And I'm just going to take my bone folder now and just make sure it's really good over that ribbon. Because of the extra bulk, we want to make sure it sticks well. And we'll just peel off the backing now. And I'm going to open my card base, just it's easier to put it down and I don't have to worry about the bulk. And I'm going to bring this in now and get this all centered up. That looks good. And again, I'm just going to use my bone folder over the ribbon again, just to make sure that that is on there good. And I really like these layers. It adds a lot of interest. For the layering part, I am going to take both pieces now and I'm going to mat them up, and I'll just use my tape runner for this. Really like these papers. The pink and kind of blacky colors together look nice. I'm just going to bring in some of my ink here, and I'm going to use some of this picked raspberry from the Distress ink line, and I'm just going to add it to this piece here just to have a little bit more pink on the edges. We'll just add a little bit more kind of tones to this piece. And as you can see, that looks a lot better now, and now I'm just going to blend it in so it's not so dark along the edges and so light in the middle. We'll just add a little bit there, and now that looks really great. And I'll attach this piece now. And we'll bring this all in. I really like how this layering, because you can see the background really adds a lot of interest, but this kind of calms it. Again, this is a very plain paper, something a little busier, and then something where you've got an image or more busyness, and really looks good together. So I'm going to put this piece down now, and I'm going to put it down approximately where I have it there. And I'm just going to use the score tape because we don't want it to go anywhere. And this is going to go like this. And again, I'm just going to bring this other one in here just to make sure I like where it is. And I think that looks really good. And it's nice and straight. And I'm just going to bring my bone folder in again just to make sure that is good. I'm going to use some of these bigger pop dots, and I'm just going to actually cut them in half so I can get a little bit better coverage with them. Like this. And there we go. We'll just pull this in. And I do want to have a flower in here, so I think I'm just going to make sure that it is in the right spot now and that it's good and centered. I don't want to push too hard with those pop dots. And again, I really like the layering effect on this, and we can still see the background, but it's not too much. For this next part, I am going to bring a flower in with my hot glue gun. But before I do this, there are some sentiments that are printed off in your kits. Feel free to place one here or down here if you like. If you don't want a sentiment on this card, then you can attach this flower right where I'm going to attach it. And just grab a little hot glue here. And we're going to put this right off the edge like that. You can just thread your brad through the flower and then add it just like that. And I really like that look. I think it looks really nice, and that white flower really pops from all this pink and the dark. And the last thing is we'll just add our white insert. So we have a place to write. And we'll just add this into here. So that finishes off this first card in my everyday card kit, number 8. There are 4 more cards coming along the way, so you can check out for those. Again, you can change this card up so many ways by inking it or by adding different papers, having different ribbons and so forth. This is an excellent layout just to give quite a lot of interest with not having to add too much to the card. So I hope you enjoyed this card. You can check me out on my website and subscribe for more videos. And I hope everyone has a wonderful day.